Hi everyone, Edwin here, and today I want to talk to you about auto insurance. Now, let's dig into how this auto insurance works in detail. There are a lot of factors that play into this. The last number I heard was that there were over 150 factors when it comes to auto insurance and determining what it costs for you to get your car on the road insured. These items include your date of birth, your gender, your address, the vehicle that you're driving, your driving history, whether you've had an accident in the past or not, and this is a weird one, your prior insurance history. Yes, if you have prior insurance with another company, that company who being the prior can impact your rate. So the better your prior company is, the better your rate can be when you shop around. The amount of time that you've been with that previous company can get you a better rate. So the longer you've been with them, the better your rate can look. A lot of people talk about loyalty perks with their auto insurance. That is a thing. It's just not as big as a thing as people make it out to be these days. But when you are shopping it, the amount of time that you've been with that previous company is considered when you're looking at a new company, looking at that address. So a big part of it is the zip code. The zip code helps the insurance companies determine what traffic looks like where you live. Is there a lot of traffic? Is there no traffic? Do you have a lot of school zones? Are there a lot of claims or accidents that occur in the area in which you live? Those are all kind of factors that are a part of the rate. Another thing involving your address is whether you own or rent. You would think, hey, why does that make a difference? It seems a little personal. You're kind of right, but also it's a factor. Homeowners tend to get better rates than renters. The logic behind this from the insurance company side of things is that you're less likely to have an incident that involves a claim if you're a property owner versus if you're a renter. It's not just about you being a person with a vehicle in that vehicle. The insurance companies also look at who you are as a person, using as many personality traits as they can use on their side to determine what level of a risk you are. The higher risk you are as a person, the more likely you are to either file a claim, have something bad happen to you, or, well, that's pretty much it. The higher of a risk you are, the more likely you are to have something unfortunate happen to you. But also, the higher of a risk you are, the more likely you are to file a claim. Good risk from an insurance company's perspective is someone who won't file a claim when something small happens because they'll just pay it out of pocket because they understand that insurance claims count against you. Even though it's coverage and they pay out, they do count against you. So you'll save that claim for when it's actually a major issue. It does look better on paper when the insurance companies look at you as a low risk. So when it comes to the vehicle that you're driving, they're looking at the year, make, model, how the vehicle is used, how many miles a year it's driven, whether or not you're using it for any kind of business use. These are all factors, and also the number of years that you've owned the vehicle is also a factor. The idea behind that is if you've owned the vehicle for a certain amount of time, you know that vehicle better. If you just got the vehicle off the lot, yeah, it's new, or if it's used, you don't know the mechanics of that vehicle as well, and so you're still adjusting to the newness of driving it. So that kind of plays into effect as far as what the rate looks like. Now, there are a few additional items that are taken under consideration depending on the insurance company. Not every company looks at these additional items. Items can include your education background, kind of what I mentioned about the address and the zip code and the claims history. With education, the higher your education, the lower risk you're considered to be. And so they do look at, are you a high school graduate or an equivalent? Do you have a college degree? Are you a doctor? Things of that nature. And they also look at your occupation because when you're driving to and from work, your occupational hazard can determine the stress levels that you may be under when you're on the road. All right, I'm going to read this part now. If you found this information useful, please remember that, yes, I am a licensed insurance agent, but I'm also a random guy on the internet. So please reach out to your local agent in your area for details about your specific needs. Click like wherever it is, click subscribe wherever it is, and enjoy the next video that YouTube decides is good for you to watch, because that would be awesome.